Jeremy Corbyn's leadership does not fit Labour values, argued Dame Margaret Hodge. Ms. Hodge recently accused members of Jeremy Corbyn's inner circle of interfering in the outcome of anti-Semitism cases to reduce the sanction imposed. The Labour MP for Barking told Channel 4 News, "I think the leadership at the present does not fit the values that have been part of the Labour Party for over 100 years. So this leadership is there for just over 3 years. I have been a member for 56 years. The party has been in existence for well over 100 years." Speaking on the alleged interference in anti-Semitism cases, Ms. Hodge commented, "There are other emails which suggest that the inner circle in the leader's office, those closest to Jeremy Corbyn, did intervene in cases before they were considered by the national constitutional committees, so there is evidence of that, and what is particularly distressing to me is that I had a meeting with Jeremy Corbyn last week in which I raised the issue of political interference, and I was given categorical assurances, not once but 3 times, that no such thing has ever happened. I have seen nothing in the evidence of his behavior since the summer that has caused me to change my view." Ms. Hodge claimed Mr. Corbyn had either misled her or been misled himself about the extent of his team's involvement in cases. Jeremy Corbyn's leadership does not fit Labour values, claimed Dame Margaret. Image Getty. "I was given categorical assurances, not once but 3 times." Margaret Hodge accused Mr. Corbyn of promising a zero-tolerance approach, but did not demonstrate that if the cases involved his mates. Ms. Hodge, who is Jewish, has a history of clashes with Mr. Corbyn. Labour insisted that it was categorically untrue to suggest that staff in the leader's office overturned recommendations in cases. But leaked emails obtained by The Times showed that a member of Mr. Corbyn's team, Laura Murray, last year recommended that a woman should be spared suspension after defending a mural which the leader himself had acknowledged was anti-Semitic. Mr. Corbyn himself came under fire over a 2012 message in which he questioned whether the mural, showing hook-nosed bankers oppressing mankind, should be removed. He later apologized and said he had not looked closely enough at the image. The email exchange shows that Labour's head of disputes recommended a member's administrative suspension over a Facebook post in which she said it was a great mural and should not be painted over. Ms. Murray responded that, while the post showed ignorance and a lack of understanding, the woman had not displayed any specific attitudes herself. She recommended writing to the member to establish why she had not understood that the image was anti-Semitic and making a decision on suspension only if her answers showed an unwillingness to be educated about these tropes. Ms. Hodge said that the case confirms all of my concerns about interventions by the leader's inner circle, adding, "Either Corbyn or his office have deliberately misled me." The president of the Board of Deputies of British Jews, Marie van der Zwijl, said, "It is intensely disturbing to hear reports that the Labour leader's office has intervened to stop the suspension of a member who defended an anti-Semitic mural in East London. Labour has long told us that complaints are expedited independently. This case would indicate that there is something less than zero tolerance for anti-Semitism in the leader's office and shows contempt for the concerns of the Jewish community." But a Labour spokesman said that the email exchange dated back to a time before General Secretary Jenny Formby introduced more robust procedures for dealing with complaints. The spokesman said, "Staff who work on disciplinary matters have always led on investigations and recommendations on individual cases. Any suggestion that staff in the leader's office overturned recommendations on individual cases is categorically untrue." A Labour source said that it was seriously misleading to focus on a handful of cases heard under processes which were now defunct. "This is a deeply unfair attack on staff working in good faith to apply the party rule book to individual cases and get through the backlog of unresolved complaints Jenny Formby inherited," said the source. No one stopped the suspension. Laura was asked for her advice, and she suggested that questions be put to the individual and a decision about suspension taken following the response. She argued in favor of suspension if that response was uncooperative. As always, The ultimate decision was made by the staff who work on disciplinary matters.